In this episode, we talk about a little about moving for the second time in less than 2 years and the topic that it inspired, overwhelm.
I'm Sienna.
And I'm Toast.
We've been partners in life, love, and music since 2001, and we believe life is best lived as a love story, your love story.
After all, to love well is to live well. For more, check out siennaandtoast.com. But for now, here's this episode.
Happy fall.
Yes, if you're listening to this soon after we release it, then we're fresh into the autumn season here in the Northern Hemisphere. Happy fall.
And we're so glad you're with us. Thank you so much for listening today. For those of you who are regular listeners of the podcast, we have been on hiatus, which we took because
we moved again.
We moved. But before we get into that, I just have to say I'm so excited that now begins the fall season.
And we're still in Portland, Oregon.
Oh my gosh.
So we didn't move away from Portland, Oregon. We just moved within Portland, Oregon. It's a surprisingly sprawling, large place.
Yes.
We actually moved, I didn't realize this, part of Portland is in one county and another part of Portland is in a whole other county.
Very true.
So anyway.
Very true. But for people like us who were both born and raised in Hawaii, and then we lived in California for a long time, and
Southern
now we're
California.
here. Now we're here in Portland, Oregon. It is just lovely to experience true fall. I think this is true fall, wouldn't you say?
Your actual seasons.
I mean, maybe there are some listeners who say this is a chicken fall.
Right. Yeah, because it's still,
not really fall.
Yeah, they're up in Maine or something, right? And they're like, you pussies.
But I don't think you're supposed to say that. But anyways, okay.
We like cats.
I think that the trees are just so gorgeous during this time of the year. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're gorgeous all year long. Mm-hmm. And even in some ways, when it's winter and there's no leaves on the tree, it's still gorgeous.
Nature's awesome.
In a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But I am looking forward to seeing all the trees in their full orange, red, and yellow glory. Already we are seeing some of the trees turn. So I love fall.
It's like, ooh, the foliage.
Yes. And you know what else?
What?
Pumpkin spice lattes. Oh. The pumpkin spice latte makes its comeback.
I saw the pumpkin products starting to make their debut at Trader Joe's already.
Oh my God. I know.
Yeah. There was a whole section, a shelf where it's like, check out our new pumpkin products or seasonal products.
That. See, pumpkin products. You gotta love pumpkin products because that cinnamon, it's ginger, it's your pumpkin pie, it's your pumpkin muffins, it's like pumpkin scones, pumpkin ice cream.
I love carbs.
Okay, anyways, so that's our ode to fall. Mm-hmm. So we're excited.
Yes,
we are. Okay, and just bear with us because we haven't recorded a podcast in ages, and so we're pretty rusty, but
it really showed.
Hopefully we will get our chops back.
Yeah, it really showed before this. Gosh. We recorded a new intro section.
I don't know if you noticed. Hopefully you noticed we have a new intro.
But it took us
so long.
Oh my.
It took so long. I don't know.
Because we record and we listen back and we're like, no.
But
then we just started getting the laugh attacks.
Like, I know. Then it's over. God. Then it's over. But that's me. I have the laugh. Once my laugh attacks start, it's just nothing can get done.
And then everybody has to take a 5.
Yeah. But also, I have to just say that, and that's just talking. And
versus what? I don't understand.
Like recording for music. It's a whole other kind of beast, right? So we will be documenting that as well. But anyways, we moved.
Yes. So we moved. So we're becoming kind of experts at moving.
Well, I was an expert at moving.
Yeah. Right? Sienna,
I have moved like so many times. I've moved so many times. But for me, it's a whole other spiritual journey to be talking about why I've moved so many different times. Mm-hmm. So we won't really get into it today. But in our move to this new place, you know, it did trigger a lot of stuff because prior to that, it was a big move from California, making the trek to Oregon. Mm-hmm. And so in my head and in the cells of my body, I'm just remembering that move and thinking like, oh my God, we're moving again. So then I had to tell myself, you know what? It's going to be fine because it's not like that.
Right.
Bear's not going to be in a car for 15 and a half hours.
And Bear is our cat.
That's
for those who don't know.
Bear is our cat.
Is our all gray, fluffy cat.
Which we do have to say that he got out of his harness outside in the wild, like outside where there's no yard, fenced in yard. Mm-hmm. He got out.
So Bear is an indoor only cat.
Yes.
But sometimes we like to take him out for a walk. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever seen a cat on a leash before, but Bear will go on a leash.
Yes.
But not just a leash around his neck, you know, on the collar like a dog. He has a full vest because cats are sneaky and really flexible and they can squeeze out of collars or something.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah.
He
even got out of his harness.
He got out of the harness and there Toast was outside holding the leash, holding the harness. The harness was completely intact. It's like he was Houdini. He somehow in a split second got out of it. Mm-hmm. His collar even came off. And then of course it's so early in the morning and I hear Toast yelling for Bear. I open the door and thank the Lord Jesus Christ that
Jesus H. Christ.
That is not meant to offend anyone if it offended anyone. But thank you, God, that as soon as I opened the door, he came running in from somewhere. Yeah. So he's in, and a brand new harness that is customized, meaning we had to measure him. We sent the measurements to this woman in England. She's making him one, and we will keep you updated. But back to the move story. Okay. So then I had to tell my body and all parts of myself that, okay, it's not like the big California move. So this should be
calm
easy.
Down.
So then I calmed down, I think, a little too much. And then as things started to happen for the real move, I started to panic again.
As the day got
closer.
And
then I became overwhelmed.
Yes. And time just doesn't stop.
No.
For you.
Nope.
No, it just keeps coming at you.
Yep.
But what really helped... Okay, so now I guess we can go into talking more about it because folks...
You're going to say guys.
Them, you... Oh my God, the world we live in nowadays. Okay,
but you know what? So, it's just a different kind of world. And
it is.
And if people want to do that, that's fine because we don't know what it's like. If we were growing up during this time... I guess we're still growing up, but I guess
everybody's still growing up. That's right.
If we were growing up, we would have that decision to make. What pronoun am I? Right?
I guess.
But now for me, it's just really, I guess, understanding it and
we do understand
and being sensitive to it.
Yeah,
being sensitive
we do understand
to it because I am still in the habit of not using the correct pronouns, and I'm trying.
Okay. Everybody is doing their best.
It's just all over the place.
So this, as many episodes are.
I feel hyper.
Because we do this podcast in a really just straightforward kind of way in the sense that we don't
edit
it's not
anymore.
Scripted,
we used to edit before.
We just talk.
Back in the day. All right.
But while we were going through the process of moving for the second time in less than 2 years, we thought of you, dear podcast listener, and we thought, this would be a good podcast topic to talk about just the sense of overwhelm because there definitely come, as if you've been alive long enough, which I'm sure you have been, you will know what we're talking about with the sense of overwhelm and feeling like just overwhelmed. And just overcome.
That's a good word, yeah.
Overcome.
Overwhelm. Like it feels like it's like,
not,
what is that?
You're not whelmed. You're overwhelmed.
Right.
There's just too much to do or things.
You're not underwhelmed.
or things feel confusing, and we realized, I think a huge part of that feeling comes from not having focus.
Yes. To me, that's what overwhelm is.
For you personally, that's
Yes.
what you realize
It is
triggers it.
the lack of focus. I have so many things floating around in my mind. I'm trying to go to sleep, then I remember another thing, which is why I am such a lover of the Post-it note. I love Post-its. Thank God for them, because I have to write everything down when it comes to me. So I have Post-its everywhere, on my desk, on the little table where I do my morning spiritual time, in the kitchen drawer. Like, I have Post-its everywhere.
You also use your phone notes app too, though, right?
If it is qualified to go into one of my notes on my phone.
Okay.
But if it's not, then it's not. I'm not putting it in there.
Okay.
So anyway, so what we did in particular with the move is,
Oh yeah. So now we're going to share what we found to be really helpful for us, right?
for
Going
the move.
through
Yeah.
the move. Yeah.
And you know what? I don't know. I think it would be really helpful to have something for people who are moving, especially moving with an animal, with a pet, having some kind of guideline for them that we could map out.
Like
for
a
them,
checklist.
and just have it, available on the site at some point. But what we found helpful for the move is to work backwards. And a lot of times that's how you do it.
Yeah,
If
that's how
you
you-
have a big party you're throwing, you go, okay, when is the party? And you work backwards. So finally we were like, okay, we got to get our act together here. How can we make the move? I think the move is going to go more smoothly, and we will enjoy the process, because a lot of people, I think, and ourselves included, you just think a move is like, oh, we gotta move, right?
Exactly.
But I think there's a way that you can actually enjoy the process. So you're not putting your life on hold, the enjoyment of life on hold until, okay, we'll enjoy life after we move. But part of that is to work with this overwhelm feeling and to get organized so that you can focus on one thing at a time. And the only way you can do that is to make a list.
It's amazing how much writing a list will calm you down.
Yes.
Because
Oh my
instead of
God.
having all these different Post-it notes floating all over the place, which is still a lack of focus, because yeah, you wrote it down, but it's still in 9 different places.
That's
right?
me.
So yeah. So
But I'm getting better.
but that's what but Sienna was very proactive
Yep.
in getting both of us to agree on using a little notepad, and that's going to be our command central. That was our notepad to write
Yes.
down our master list of all the things
That's
that
like the
needed to
nucleus
happen.
of the cell. It's like right there.
Ooh.
That was very geeky.
So geeky.
But wait, I want to say why it was a notepad. Because everyone, I think, not everyone, but a lot of people, I think, shun paper these days. Everyone is on their phone. Everything is in tech, right? You want it on your phone. You want it on your
In the cloud.
Google, whatever. Yeah. So the reason why you want a notepad is so that you see it. Because if it requires you to click on your phone, then go to the correct app, or to go to the calendar, or to go to your reminders, when are you doing that?
And also, it's very likely that your phone will just drag you once your eyes.
You're going to go on Instagram.
Once you lay your eyes on your phone,
Yeah,
your phone's
forget
going to
it.
drag you by the neck and take you into whatever most recent notification popped up and all of that
Exactly.
stuff.
So you know what? A good old fashioned steno notepad. For some of you might not know what that is, but it's just a notepad, all right? And it has the rings at the top. You flip it over. Anyhow, that's a little sassy, but I don't mean it like that. Okay. So what we did is we took our actual move date, the day the movers were coming, and then we worked backwards. And we just tracked what needs to happen the day of, the day before. And then from that point, after we had that section done, then we moved to the present time in our calendar. And we're not going to get into all the details of the move because really what we're talking about is overwhelm here. But what we did is we broke it down to Marie. We had a podcast where we talked about Marie Kondo.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
what is it called again?
KonMari
method. Yes. KonMari method. Right. So we employed that and made sure that as best as we could in the moment that we just didn't bring crap over to the new place that we would have to find a place for.
Yeah. So one of our first big projects, and it's crazy that we just moved last year. So you would think we wouldn't have that much crap.
And how much condoing did we do already?
Thought we did some.
I got rid of 15 bags.
Oh my God.
Okay. And
but
there was still stuff.
But this is a growing area,
I know.
an area of growth and maturing for us and learning. So the first big project involved
purging.
Yeah, sorting through all the things that were in the junk drawer and in the back of your bookcase and in the bottom of the entertainment center or whatever, right? And making that pile of whether you're going to donate it or sell it or throw it away if it's not suitable for donating anymore, and you're just like, you know what, I haven't worn this shirt in 2 years, and anyways, so there's that process of just reducing the amount of stuff we had first, and then the next project, is it okay if I continue on with what we did?
Of course.
Okay.
It is.
So
Toast. Of course it is. This is your podcast too.
my name's on it too.
You are not a guest here. Go ahead.
And then we had fun figuring out, kind of like when you're camping in your own house, because you pack up as much as you can so that you don't have to pack it at the last minute. Right. So we just left out like a few pieces of silverware and a few plates and a few cups and just... So we were living like that for a couple weeks.
But we did know that the kitchen needed,
That's the last thing to be packed.
Yeah, so we knew
you want
the
your
kitchen,
coffee the morning of the move.
Right. The kitchen was going to be last, and there's a lot of things that could already be packed day one. A lot of books and things like that. Right. So basically, we created a list, and what we made sure to do, and I think this is something that is a good tip. Good tip.
Okay.
And that is to make your list, but then to get it in the schedule. Because a master list of just long run-on stuff, although that's helpful to get it out of your brain space.
And off of the 9 different Post-its.
Yes. It
scattered.
means nothing if it's not scheduled. So you have to make sure that you schedule your list of to-dos.
Yeah.
And so what we did was each page of the notepad was a day. And we just scheduled as far in advance as we could. But every day we just looked at that day's tasks. And another tip I think is important is to not overschedule yourself. Like to really not overschedule yourself. And I know sometimes it's hard to make those calls, like how much can we actually do? But to make sure that when you do have your list for the day, you have it in the order of priority, so that if you don't finish all of it, that the most important things for that particular day were done, and then you can move the stuff you didn't finish over.
Yeah. And this act of making lists and scheduling it really is just the process of kind of corralling and training your brain and your focus to the one thing that's the best thing for you to do right now. Because you can only do one thing at a time.
I know.
But you need to be at peace and feel assured that whatever that one thing is, that it's what you should be doing at that time. Because if you have confidence that, you know what, the one thing I'm doing is exactly what I should be doing now, it's what I've already made the decision is best to achieve my goal, then okay, just do it and you're going to feel great. That was our experience.
Yeah.
And it really, it's amazing how fulfilling it is to work on a project together, even if it's just a pedestrian project like moving house, together with your person and work on it and feel like, yeah, we're a team. We're
not want to
achieving
kill
this
each other.
thing. No, not want to kill each
We
other.
did well. I thought we did really, really well.
I was inspired by us.
Like, wow, if we can do this, we just need this magic steno pad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right? That's true.
But anyways, and I know that we're using the moving example just because that was our most recent strong experience of overwhelm that we experienced together. But we also realize that for some people, like we have a friend who, in moving, they're the type of person who will just like do it that week and just rush and be crazy.
Yeah.
And they're just fine with that.
Yeah.
For me, I know like that would drive me nuts. Like I couldn't do that. So I'd rather have a full 6 weeks or whatever it might be
Well, we
for
had
the
4
long
weeks.
drawn out preparation than just have 1 week of massive cramming and craziness.
All-nighters.
No.
Hell week.
I'm sorry. No.
And some people, well, another thing to know and put in perspective too is that every time you and I have moved, we've done all the packing ourselves.
Oh yeah,
Because
we didn't hire like people to do it.
Yeah, because I bet your friend that you're talking about would probably
Hire someone?
pay to have
Maybe.
the moving service include, come in, have your team come in with all their packing supplies and pack up all my stuff, whatever it is. Just
Yes,
get it to the new
no.
place.
I
right?
can't relinquish
So-
control like that. Like,
So
don't
it
touch that
just
one
depends.
notepad. Like I need that notepad. And where'd you put that particular pen that was by that notepad?
Well,
No.
you know what's funny is we are
I'm missing some things.
Yeah,
Aren't
we're
you?
here at our new place and we're going, wait, didn't we have another blanket? Where's that
Yeah,
blanket?
we are missing a blanket.
So, yeah.
It was one of my favorites.
Okay, it's gotta be here
but
somewhere.
anyways, so but
Is it in the
why
dryer?
why are we so overwhelmed? Like as a society, as people, like that we all can identify with this feeling.
Yes. Well, I think it's the energy, it's the spirit of the age that we live in our society to be overwhelmed. I think in a shadow negative kind of way, it's a badge of honor because our society has this unspoken rule or sense of admiration and virtue for the idea of being productive, right? There's all these
Right.
productivity hacks and how much you can accomplish and achieve and do. And the more you can achieve and do and accomplish, then that makes you a better person. Supposedly, somehow, that's the unspoken message that we get, though, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
there's all these articles and tips and books and courses about how to do more, and it's just assumed that
Doing more is better. Yeah.
as if that's the whole point of life is to do more.
Right.
And so this silent but omnipresent pressure to do more, it really, I think, puts that pressure on us that causes this feeling of overwhelm. It's like, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more to feel better about myself and to keep up with blah, blah, blah,
I
And I think
know.
so. But I think it's helpful to realize that's just the temperature of of the society we happen to live in. It doesn't mean that we need to buy into it 100%. Of course.
Yeah, be different.
And the tricky thing is that it really is a balance. Of course we need to do stuff and accomplish things and improve our lives and get things done. Of course we need to. That's part of how we show love for each other, how we, show up for the people in our lives, for ourselves, how we improve our health, how we take care of each other. It's inherent in that. But this constant drive.
Right.
Like you didn't do enough yet. Like you have to, have the second home and all. It's like, oh, good Lord, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So I think it's helpful to realize that there is this pressure. So to not automatically think that you have to do more.
Right.
Like it's helpful to just take a pause and be like, well, do I have to do all of this? Like maybe some of this is not actually genuinely important to me.
Yeah. And I
Right?
think that, right. And I think that along those lines, the other side of that is, well, I know I have felt this, like in order to just relax and take a break, I feel like I need to earn that right to relax and take a break. So if I do 25 things today, then I'll have earned my right to then relax in the evening and watch Netflix. You know what I mean? And not feel bad like, oh, I should be doing more. I shouldn't be sitting here. I should be doing more. Even if I've already done 25 things that day.
Well, I think that's where the balance comes in, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like even just choosing, like, because of everything that you just said, making that effort to not only just continue being on that hamster wheel of going and accomplishing more and more and more and more, but just like making that proactive decision to, you know what, today is a day of rest. That's hard to do.
And what that is you are accomplishing the care and cultivation of a healthy heart and a soul and a spirit. You're deepening and strengthening the foundations and the roots of your spirit. And that's just as important as accomplishing in the outward.
And maybe
way.
more sometimes.
Yes.
Maybe more sometimes. Because I feel like with that do.
Okay.
Like that can, I'm not saying it always does, but if you are just adding stuff to your list and you are constantly going for it and doing and not taking moments to reconnect, you really, the doing can become just this distraction, from the heart space.
Yeah. Like I think that I lean towards that. And I have to watch myself.
Yeah.
In terms of like trying to use how much I accomplished this day and look at all, what I did as being how I get my sense of value, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's easy to be distracted by that, by the doing, because our society rewards it.
Right.
Our society, it just
Then you
assumes
just
that
feel
of course
good.
it's better, and of course you're a better person,
Yes.
and of course you're more valuable, and
Right. And then you can only ride that so long though, because then you start to feel that calling of like, oh, how come I got all this stuff done? Like after a while, it only works so long. And then after a while, you're like, gosh, I'm getting all this stuff done, but then how come I don't feel good?
or how come I'm an asshole?
What? Or that.
Yeah,
Or that.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think, and again, we're not, neither of us is saying that accomplishing is bad. It's just, we're just talking about
Not at all.
having the yin,
Balance.
yeah, the yang and the
Balance.
yin, right? The masculine and the feminine, the light and the dark. It's both. But here's what, as I reflected on overwhelm and accomplishment and all this drive, this unspoken pressure to do and accomplish, and I realized that, wow, that message of, hey, if you do more, you're a better person. That message is so insidious in our society, because I feel like it has even gotten to the point where it's also an assumed message that, well, no, you really should concentrate on doing and achieving and building up your accomplishments and wealth and influence and all of that, because if you do that, then you can actually help make the world a better place. Because then you'll be able to donate to charity and be an influencer for good and all that. And that's true. But
you can start doing that now.
Exactly. But that message, but you know what I'm talking about? That message where it's like there's all these conferences and foundations and things where it's like only the quote successful people get to show their influence and their contribution, so it kind of masks and overlooks the fact that, hey, us everyday people are doing what we can with what we have. And that's, if all of us just did that,
very powerful.
That's what society is made of, is people. Anyways.
And it's very satisfying. That's how you keep your heart open,
That's what brings, that's the fulfillment, is in the everyday. It's like if you're always trying to, accomplish and then enjoy life, or accomplish and then feel good about yourself.
Right.
That's the trickery of it.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. And I know that for me, like in my school life, I was just trying to achieve, but like I was just walking around like a zombie. I wasn't awake to my life. I wasn't coming from a heart space. I wasn't, my why was to please other people in my family that wanted to see me on a certain path. It wasn't my why. It wasn't my true heart's desire to stay in academics for so long. So, you don't want to be a zombie. You want your heart open. You want to be awake to your life. And it's a practice.
Yes.
It's definitely a practice.
Yeah.
So we hope we didn't overwhelm you with this topic of overwhelm. But also at the end of the day, just remember that really when you start to feel that sensation of, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, realize that you are absolutely not in it alone. That there is spirit on your side. Spirit, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is on your side. All of us are co-creating with this energy, with this spirit. So you are never by yourself. And
we are all in this together.
Yes.
Right? All of us are just basically on this mysterious journey of life together.
The mystery, yes. And they do say, how they say that thing where God never gives you more than you can handle. And I know, we've heard that 100 times, but
I think when I hear that, I think it's kind of just one way of expressing the idea that whatever's happening in your life, that's the curriculum for your heart. That's a curriculum for your spirit to evolve.
Yes. And you're ready.
And however
you're ready
difficult,
for it. That's what it means, really.
Well, it's happening. So
you're capable
you're already in
handling
it. And it's about,
you're ready for that next lesson. It's like life is our school.
Yeah.
And you're ready for the next class.
Okay.
What else? That's it? This went by so fast.
Did it?
All right. Okay. So bear with us. Okay. So we want to say thank you again for listening and for showing up for the brand new season of the Sienna and Toast podcast. And just know that we are definitely on this journey together. We are here to support you. And do not forget that it's all about progress and not perfection.
Amen, Sister Fran.
Thank you.
Yes. And progress, I won't add to that. I already did, but I'll stop now. And we want to remind you that if you'd like to hear from us regularly, you can join our email list at siennaandtoast.com. And, if you get something out of this, if it brings a smile to your face, please consider mentioning it to a friend or leaving a review. If you've already left a review or a rating, thank you so much. And
All right.
until next time,
This is Sienna.
and this is Toast, inviting you to come and live your love story.